Joining me now, Marianne Marsh, former senior advisor to John Kerry, and Colin Reed, senior vice president of Definers Public Affairs. He's also a columnist for the Boston Herald. Okay, so when we invited you on, we said, can you give us the two races that you each are following the most closely? Colin, let me ask you first. New Jersey?
Well, yeah, I think New Jersey is going to be closer than it ever should be.
This is the Senate race in New Jersey. We have a poll here from Quinnipiac with Menendez at 55% and Hugan at 40%, but there are other polls that show it much, much closer than that.
Right, and if you follow the money, outside Democratic groups have been forced to spend close to $8 million to prop up Bob Menendez in a state that Hillary Clinton won by 20 points. And that's an indictment on how bad a candidate he is and the fact that he was indicted for bribery charges and the National Democrats rallied around him and kept him on the ballot. So if you're a candidate like Claire McCaskill or Joe Donnelly and you see money being poured into New Jersey where it never should have to be spent.
Yeah, you might get irritated about that. Yeah. But in New Jersey, the Star-Ledger, the main paper there, their headline for their endorsement of Menendez was "Choke it down and vote for Menendez." Not the best endorsement, Marianne.
It's not, and money's not an issue for any Democrat this year. There's more money you can put anywhere in any race. But the fact is, if you have a choice between being good or lucky on any given day, pick lucky, and Bob Menendez is lucky. He's in New Jersey. No Democrat's gonna lose a race there, especially this year.
One of the races you chose was Florida, and that Senate race down there. We have a soundbite from Governor Rick Scott. He's running for Senate. Let's listen to that.
We just got to get the vote out. The Panhandle had we had a horrible hurricane. And by the way, the president did a great job helping us after that. So we just got to get the vote out up there in the Panhandle. That's typically a very good area for us. But I'm optimistic.
Why are you watching Florida?
Well, Nelson, a key Senate race in Florida matters to everybody, but it's Gillum who's going to pull him across the finish line. The enthusiasm around Gillum in his gubernatorial race, turning out voters of color and voters across the board in numbers the likes of which we have not seen, is the reason that both Nelson and Gillum are going to win their races on Tuesday.
What do you think about Florida?
I agree with Marianne on that point that, but not for Gillum, Bill Nelson would be a dead man walking politically long ago.
All right, well, let me ask you about your other one then. You picked Texas. I wish I had the soundbite. Several months ago, you were on the show and you said Texas is fool's gold for Democrats. I've quoted you several times, but now you're choosing Texas.
I still think that's right, and I stand by it. I think I wagered a beer to somebody on this airwaves, too. I forget who it was, but I will pay up if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Look, Texas is a red state. Beto O'Rourke, credit where credit is due. He has raised an astounding amount of money. He has made this race closer than it ever should be, and Ted Cruz, I think, is still dealing with a presidential hangover from 2016.
And I think we have Ted Cruz, at least video of Ted Cruz. He's down there in Texas trying to make this last go of it, and Beto O'Rourke will be there a little bit later. What do you think about Texas? Long shot for Democrats, but possible?
No, if Cruz wins, it will be by the skin of his teeth and end up being one of the closest races tomorrow night.
And then worth it with all the money that was spent?
Absolutely. Look, if Beto O'Rourke wins, that's the story. No question about the big race that
that's true. We will probably have to, then we'll have to read a lot more, even another round of national media profiles of Beto O'Rourke. Your other race that you chose was Indiana. The Daily Briefing was there last week. We talked to Senate candidate Mike Braun, the Republican. You still think that the Democrat Donnelly pulls it out?
I think Donnelly pulls that out in the end, and the polls close at 6 o'clock, and that's why it matters. If Donnelly's ahead and he wins, that's a great sign for all the other Democrats in red states that are coming up after him, in Montana, in Missouri, in West Virginia, in India. If he wins Indiana, I think Democrats look like they're going to do much, much better than people think in the Senate.
But what do you think? President Trump won Indiana by 20 points, and he's been there several times.
And he's going there tonight, and this is the last rally. He's coming in for the close. He's going to rally up the base. And I would say on Senator Donnelly, he is propping up a third-party libertarian candidate in the hopes of peeling away.
Yeah, I've seen reports on that.
But the fact that Trump has to go in there again tonight on the eve of the election tells you everything about that race.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to know that they must think that it's very close as well. The polls show that. I don't have time to talk to you all about election security. Kirstjen Nielsen, the Department of Homeland Security, says it will be the most secure election that we've had to date. So we will see. About that, indeed. All right. Thank you very much, Marianne Marsh and Colin Reed. We appreciate it. Always love having you. And